Welcome back to Cathedral View. Last time we were here, it was before the summer, about 6 weeks ago. I'm here with James Wrigley, the project manager for Cathedral View from DW Hicks.
Hello.
Who'll be showing us around. You'll notice a lot has changed, so like usual, we're just going to have a look around the site and have a chat about it. So, lead on, James.
Off we go. Okay, do you want to come down?
Yep, come on down.
I'll wait for everyone to keep in a tight group, otherwise it...
Yeah, if we can all keep together. Just for the benefit that haven't been here previously, we'll just come through here. Do you just want to explain the layout, James, of what we've got in front of us then?
Okay, we were looking at the drawings which were on the table, and Fraser pointed out which was block A and block B on there. This is block B. It is the part of the building which has the majority of the student ancillary services, management office, bits for the staff, communal toilets.
Pizza.
Is that the new thing?
I was just kidding with Eddie Gavin about it.
Plant room down here, and then at the rear of that there's two communal areas, the lower communal areas there. What you see on this particular block is a reinforced concrete frame for ground floor and first up to the podium slab, first floor slab. That allows us to have a wide open spaces underneath for the communal areas. Above is the fusion frame system which some of you saw earlier on today. Block A, when we get there, that's fusion from ground floor up totally. They're all rooms and kitchens in that block.
So why have we got a different ground first floor construction for block B to block A?
Because of needing the wide open spaces on block B. It is the big open plan. I mean, there's columns within it, but the open plan areas for the communal space.
Right, okay.
Right. You have to remind me a little bit where we were up to last time.
Well, we were up to just the slab.
Yeah.
And on block A, we were just 2 stories up, I think.
Right.
Is that right, Jade? We're 2 stories up over here? Yeah. We were, weren't we? So you were bringing, do you remember you were joking about bringing all of the pods in because the French were going away on holiday?
Yes, they did. But we managed to service the build. So, okay, from the last time, block A is just more of the same. From the outside, it is just gone up further, obviously. Yeah. Block B, since then the podium slab has been poured, cured. All of the tables which may have been up last time, which is the supporting structure to pour the slab, they've gone. The groundwork and superstructure guys have moved out, departed from site. So the key guys on site now are the fusion chaps who are busy putting up and installing the frame.
Like the Meccano frame.
It is, yeah. I mean, if you look here, you see the constituent elements. There's
and we can see some of that when we go into block A. Whilst we're stood here, James, let's talk about things we can see.
Okay.
And I presume this is part of the lift shaft.
This is part of the lift shaft, yeah.
So in block B, we've got two.
One there, one there. You'll see the block A when we're in there, but you can't see it from here. And they come in 2 sections per floor. Lower section and a capping piece, and supposedly you just put one on top of the other and grout them in.
But
there's always
a bit of fettling there.
There's a fair bit of fettling that goes on, yeah. It's never quite as easy as it sounds.
We've got 9 stories here and 8 here, so ground and 8 and ground and 7.
That's it.
And how many stories are we actually up here now?
We are up 5. 5th floor is... So 6 stories in total, but the 5th floor is currently going on.
So we've got another 3 stories to go on block
but
A.
Only one more at the back.
Right, okay.
Because the back is ground plus 6, and the front section is ground plus 8.
And just for the sake of the video, Cool said he did want to go up to the top of the crane. And James said you could as soon as we finish the video.
Well, once you've gone through your training and you've got your harness on and you've been deemed competent, you're allowed up.
Oh dear. Oh well, that blows that chance. Okay.
Right. Do you want to take a look into this block where we've got some internal works?
Yeah. Ah, the blue bricks.
Blue bricks, yeah.
Which aren't blue. The blue. The blue
Well,
grey
Staffordshire
bricks.
Blues.
Come in, come in. So this is going to be split up into rooms now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now
so
we've got the planning permission through.
that's it. I mean, you know, we've known for a while that it was going to come.
Yeah.
It was formalities, but now we've pretty much been given the go-ahead.
So what happened here was that this, we put the planning permission for 7 extra rooms here, but we didn't have it through, so we couldn't put it into rooms. So we had to kind of have it multi-purpose until it had gone ahead.
Everywhere you see the red hot rolled steel, if we'd have known that we were definitely going to get the planning permission, it would have been done in fusion. So it would have just been another one of the fusion dividing walls in between, because the application had gone in for planning but hadn't been approved at that stage. It may have still have been a garden room, sort of an open plan space, an amenity space for the students. Therefore, it is all in, well, as you see at the moment.
We can go and have a look at the fusion system. Can we go up any floors? Or?
Yeah, we'll be able to go up a couple of stories. If we go up into the first, well, yeah, you might have to go quite far up.
So this, viewers, this is the first time I've gone up any height at all at Cathedral View. So, oh, there we go. There's a bit more.
Yeah, well, if we go down into this one, you can actually start to see the process. Find one with a bit of light.
Okay. Yeah, no, this is good. So just for, you know, some people that haven't been here before.
Yeah.
Shall we start out here with the Mestec?
Okay. There's 3 constituent parts to the fusion system, really. There's the perimeter walls, which have the insulation bound in the panels, the grey stuff. There's the internal walls, which are also load bearing. They're structural walls, but there's no insulation within them. And then there are the floor cassettes. And when they arrived, it doesn't come as a single piece, it comes as a panel. It would have been from here to this point, and it gets dropped in on the crane. They bolt it, they brace it, then they level it, and then they attach to the bits.
I saw some winching some up earlier, actually, when I arrived. So it's all basically bolted together like Meccano.
It is.
But before they put the lid on, the roof, we'll drop in one of these.
Yep, one of the bathroom pods.
So where have these come from?
They are from France. There is a local UK distributor, but it's a French company, Bordeaux, who make them over in France.
And each of these rooms is about 13 metres squared. And we'll have the internal bathroom, which will get shoved up to here.
That's right.
And basically the access panel here means that if an engineer needs to access anything from the back of the pod, they can just open that door and come in there. And then pretty much the same as Cathedral Court, I guess, queen size bed, desk, drawers and cupboard space.
Yep.
Perfect. Which is what students want, and super fast Wi-Fi. Are you looking at me because we're running out of battery? No, we're okay. So where's the communal room in this one?
Okay, James? In this particular one, it's the last one on the right-hand side.
Okay.
These are relatively small, well, medium-sized cluster, 6 bedrooms.
Yeah.
This is a communal kitchen and lounge space for 6 students.
Yeah.
Effectively, they'll all get a high level and a low level kitchen cupboard each. Won't be particularly big kitchen cupboard, but they'll have one each.
Yeah, yeah.
There'll be an
you don't
oven.
Leave too much stuff in here in case the other students nick it.
Well, this is it.
You've got to hide most in your room.
Yeah. Sofa, TV.
Yeah.
Seating area. So it's bijou, but it's comfortable and it works.
So here we've got 326 pod rooms. So the rooms are together in, is it 4 to 7?
4 to 9.
4 to 9, okay,
Yeah.
9. And then they have a communal room, whereas when we were in Globeworks Birmingham earlier, we had some studio rooms which were self-contained effectively. But all 326 rooms here are going to be pod rooms. And we'll be renting these out at £139 a week at least as a minimum over a 42-week period. Okay. Yes, we will be. Yeah, okay. Let's... How high up can we go then?
Well, we can go up a few stories.
Yeah, let's go up.
I mean,
let's go up.
It'd be nice to get into some light. The sight lights should be here.
And the further we go up, the more you see how it's constructed.
Yeah. Well, you can see some of the sequencing that goes on just by seeing what is different here.
Are we allowed to go out here?
Yes, the scaffold has been signed off.
Because oh, here we go. This would be another communal room then.
Yep, literally right above where we were a moment back. You can see that one of the first things that actually goes in are the floor pads for the bathroom pods, which allows those to be sited relatively early on in the process.
And this is the cassette that you were talking about, the ceiling, which we dropped in. How big is that piece then?
That is a very good question. This would have been done in 2 pieces. So this room would have been 2 separate floor cassettes that were dropped in.
Because the cassette will come in, which is just the metal Meccano piece, effectively, and then the wood will be attached to the top of it.
No,
that comes with the floor.
The wood is on top.
Right, so that's part of the cassette.
Yeah. In fact, it's easier to see here. That's the join. So this is one cassette.
Yeah.
And this is the other cassette.
So you could almost say it's kind of almost part modular constructed.
Yeah. I mean, it's an off-site manufacture system, and it comes in pieces, and you fit them together.
Right. Let's. We're allowed to go out here.
Yep.
So we can talk about Block B from here.
Yeah.
So.
So one of the things we've been able to do, I don't know if you can still hear me, is. Block B was actually programmed to be installed on the completion of Block A.
Right, okay.
And with a bit of tweaking and a bit of forward planning, we've managed to work it sequentially.
Yeah.
Now, it won't go up at anywhere near the speed that this side is going up, but anything that we're able to get in at this point is going to obviously be of benefit at the end of the project, because the students will be coming on time.
I'm using my phone to do the video. Can you get a couple of pictures as we go around and WhatsApp them to me? Thanks a lot. So this is great to, and also none of these rooms will be for this college here, because that's the FE college. This is Derby College here. It's a sixth form college. So although we're building it right next to the college and it'd be ideal, none of them require purpose beds because they'll be living at home. But you can see how close we are to the college here. But we've still got unanimous planning decision here. So
yeah, and to be fair, relationship with the college have been pretty good. We've got a meeting with them tomorrow, which is a regular occurrence, just to see how they see it from their side of the fence as well. But at the moment we're on excellent terms, really. So hopefully we can continue with that.
One of the things they did here was that when they piled, you can do hammer piling or auger piling. And we should have done hammered piling, but there's less noise to screw in the piles to stop annoying the students next door. So, was that your idea, James?
No.
Say it was.
No, structural engineer decided on how it's done, but one of the things, obviously, you take into account the neighbours. Falling out with neighbours can make it a long process putting these buildings up. So anything that you can do which doesn't adversely affect the overall project, you try to do.
And you can actually see the lift sections like you were talking about, the lift shaft sections. So they're meant. So what is when you're referring to, are they meant to just fit together but they don't quite? What practical problems do you have? Okay,
so it's a cast product. So there's a mould for the lift shaft sections. There's an outer box and an inner box, and it's not very complicated. You pour the concrete in between the 2 bits, and it should be structurally pretty much every piece should be the same, and they're not. It's as simple as that. So you get little variances. You can imagine that you only need a small tilt at the bottom, and by the time you get to the top you're miles out, and you just don't have that sort of tolerances. So each time a section goes on, it gets levelled and it's made sure it's plumb and it's not twisting.
And is it just all the way to the top? Is it just cemented together, or is there any other structural elements?
So no, there's a continuation bar. So you see the holes that you've got in the top there. That's a big long. And
so they get set on top of those kind of loops, do they?
No, those are the lifting loops. So that you just use those to lift each section up.
Yeah.
And then long pieces of rebar goes down through the the aperture there, and
Right.
they are grouted up to effectively
okay.
create a strong fixing which goes up all the way through.
Because this will be going up 8 stories effectively with the ground, won't it?
Yeah.
So actually, so we're only 2 of 8 there. Oh, there you can see them just putting the cassettes on the roof
Yeah.
over there, actually. So literally, they've just lifted that into place and they're just drilling it together then.
Yeah.
It is actually quite simple in terms of
It is, yeah.
putting it together.
It's the pain in the system is in the design phase. There's a
Yeah.
lot of time
The
and
lead.
work that goes into the
Manufacturing it
yeah,
off-site.
absolutely. But the installation is quick. At the moment, we're going up a floor a week on
One
this.
floor a week.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we were at Cathedral Court, it was 1 floor every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I guess that was the whole footprint of the building.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that it's still quick. There's a lot
Yeah.
of men on site here at the moment for Fusion, so that is a quick installation.
Talking of going up, should we see how far up we can get?
Yep.
Sorry. 20.
Right.
20%.
We can go up via the scaffold, or we can go up internally via the stairs.
We'll just go with the stairs.
Yep.
I want to have a look over Cathedral Court.
Okay.
I just want to point that out to our guests.
Yep. Not sure how many stories of this. One more.
Jeff said to me that he wanted as much exercise as possible. Isn't that right, Jeff? You can't hear me. Can you?
Right.
That's okay. Let's
See if what we can see from this level. Just mind your step as you come round, please. I will wait here to make sure no
Yeah.
one takes a tumble.
right.
Okay.
Let's, can we get out there?
You'd require climbing up, I'm afraid, so it might be best taking a view from the end window.
Let's.
Well, this one gives you a pretty good view, Fraser.
Is it? Oh, okay, yeah. Just for the benefit of our guests who haven't seen it before, this is Cathedral Court, our first purpose-built student accommodation block, and this was completed in 2016. This is a 350-room student development for the University of Derby with D.W. Hicks.
It was.
And it's actually with Aviva Investors as well, and that kind of put us on our way.
Yeah.
For us and with you guys
Yeah,
as well.
it did. Yeah, start of a good relationship.
Just what's going on with the scaffolding and the top layers?
It is a university PR exercise. The top section of cladding is ACP, aluminium cladding panel,
Right.
which is what was on Grenfell.
Oh, okay.
And although it is perfectly fine, it complies with the regulations for a building of this size.
Yeah.
The university have decided to remove
Okay.
it.
Fair enough. And again, you can see the kind of the concrete plinth quite well from up here.
Yeah, it's a relative 450 mil deep, so it's a good big heavy slab, and it has to bear the load of the building above it, so it needs to be robust to do the job. But as it stands at the moment, it was installed well, and we're not having too many problems with the fusion frame. It's always, I think you recall from a previous conversation, the first story of the fusion on top of whatever the structure is where all the fiddling about goes. As soon as that's done, it flies up.
Yeah. And interestingly, you can see how the pods are dropped in. The first thing to be done, isn't it?
Yeah.
So above us now, there's not another level. Are the pods up there now?
Yeah, there will be.
Right. Okay.
There'll be pods in the one above, and then the one
it's
above
about to
that,
run
the one above
juice
they'll
is
be
just
about
about
to
run out. So we'll finish it there. Thank you very much,
No
James.
problem.
Appreciate
Thanks, Fraser.
it, and we'll see you again on our next visit.